Hi, I'm Chris Raptus Real Estate, and welcome to episode number 10. We're going to be one of my favourite episodes, which is gardens and the importance of a garden when it comes to selling your property and being a landlord. So if you could wind back the clock and say, Chris, you'd love going down to Bunnings and checking out the garden centre in Bunnings, I'd think you're mad. But I'd love going into Bunnings and looking at the different types of herbs, drought-resistant plants, and normal plants, potting mixes, etc., and making sure that you can utilise the best aspects of your garden. Now, no one's asking you to have the gardens of Babylon, but certainly presenting a home with a nice garden will certainly increase the overall value and price of your property. Now, another thing to take into consideration is the different types of seasons. So your garden, when you're presenting it for sale, will have a different look in summer as opposed to spring, winter and autumn. So the different types of colours can certainly attract buyers, and the smells as well that you get in a well feng shui garden can certainly impact the price when you're going to sell a home. That being said, I guess we're kind of lucky because we very well strategically positioned in Australia with our capital cities where they're close proximity to water. Our cities are an abundance with water, so to speak, that's a really big thing because not everyone is going to have access to the better climate as opposed to things like regional parts of town or the state, should I say, and you really got to take into consideration things like drought resistant plants, etc. So I guess where I'm trying to go out with this is when it comes to landlords especially, I like employing in a contractor, a gardener or a landscaper, a professional that'll maintain the gardens, because not all tenants will have a love and appreciation for gardens, but especially when you have small children. I mean, having a small veggie patch in the back, growing your own food, your tomatoes, your herbs, it's kind of fun, it's healthy, and it certainly is an aspect that I think as Australians we tend to look at a little bit more focus on due to COVID-19 and the restrictions with travel. And the cost of traveling is far greater now. So I find that families and individuals are spending more time in their garden, and there's more of a focus on home improvement and gardens. So that's a little trick and a hack that I use with my landlords is we like to use a gardener, and we factor that into the price of running a property in the rent we charge per week, and it just enables homes to be at their best looking, if we do need to re-rent it. And you'd be surprised, a lot of tenants, they do look after their gardens, but for every one or two that don't, it's a way of safeguarding the landlords and making sure that their greatest asset is looked after in the best possible way. So from a landlord point of view, it's really crucial to look after your garden. And from a sales point of view, I think a garden can make or break a home sale. People will pay for a garden and the way it makes them feel. And this isn't Burke's backyard. I can't give you all the advice when it comes to gardening, but I do know what I like. I know what is a good garden and what's not. Things like a Japanese box are very good. And these small things, you can go and speak to a specialist about and get some advice on, right? But I'm a big advocate for small businesses and utilizing the community and using small businesses because the profits are retained within the community. And that's another episode that I'm going to go into about when selecting an agent, when you do choose a non-local agent, so to speak, that is a major conglomerate, where do those profits go? So that's for another episode. Let's support small businesses. I know things are tough out there, and let's employ professional people that do a good job, because at the end of the day, they have their craft, we have ours. as a landlord, you can claim these costs. And none of this is financial advice. Do your own research, but what is in your best interest is getting the best price for your property. And if that means maintaining a garden, I highly recommend getting the right bark, for instance, for when you're shooting a property. It's all about presentation and making sure that the home looks at its optimal best so you can get the best price. It makes our job a lot easier because when someone falls in love with the home and the garden, it's two ticks. So yeah, that's it. Look forward to doing the next episode. Appreciate your time. Make sure you like, retweet, share. It helps the algorithm. Let's get this information out to as many people as possible. Let's give the consumer as much information so they can have it in their treasure chest when they need to put their home on the market, or when they're selecting an agent. They can go back to the episodes and they can tick all the boxes and say, right, done this, done that, Chris said this, and help people make the best decisions they can when it comes to their property. Appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Take care. Bye for now.